Good morning, big dogs. It's Wednesday, September 9th, and this is Stephanie. And I am actually going to do a spark this morning on a book called The Heart of Leadership. I told my husband this morning I have no idea what I'm going to do this daily spark on. And I walked into the office and saw this book, which I read on the way back from Success School. It's by Mr. Mark Miller. If you haven't read it, pick it up. It's a great, easy read. But I wanted to touch on 5 things that are in this book that come back to being a leader that people want to follow, because we all have to strive to be a better leader if that's something we want to accomplish. So those 5 things, I wrote them out so that you can actually see them this morning. It's still early, so I figured that was the best way to do it. The first one is hunger for wisdom. You're going to hear a lot in Advocare that leaders are readers. If you're not a good reader, honestly, put aside some time where you're reading 10 minutes a night. Maybe 10 pages a night. It doesn't have to be a lot at a time, but just put something good into your brain. Or if you're not a good reader, maybe look into doing some audiobooks where you can actually listen to them. No matter what, make sure you're gaining wisdom every single day. The second one is expect the best from yourself. We are our biggest critics. And if you're like me, you have a little pessimist that sits on your shoulder and talks sometimes when he should be quiet, and we kind of have to knock that person off and go back to the optimistic side and say, guess what? The world's going to try and suck you back into that world of negativity, and it's not going to happen because I expect the best for myself. That's number 2. The third one is accept responsibility. This is a big one, and this is a hard one. Accept responsibility. Where are you, and why are you there? Whose responsibility is it? It's ours. So good example is, it is Wednesday, and the pay period started last Tuesday. Did you hit your first Tuesday goals? Did you write your goals out on the first day of the pay period, or did you skip that step? Do you know if you're closer to your goals? Where are you? If you're behind, whose responsibility is that? And if you're where you want to be, whose responsibility was that? And if you're where you want to be, take responsibility for that too. So accept responsibility no matter where you are. Number 4 is respond with courage. So now that we've accepted responsibility for where our business is, how are we going to respond to that? Are we just going to let it slide and say, well, we didn't hit that one, so we got a week left, we'll just finish out? Or are you going to respond with courage and say, okay, what action steps do I need to do to reach those goals that we put into motion? So this is a big one. The last one is think of others first. So this is one that can be a struggle for some people, but this is what we do. Everything we do revolves around other people. So always make sure you're putting them first. Sometimes what happens is we see pin levels or we see advancement and we start thinking about ourselves instead of putting the focus where we should. If we empower people and build them up, your business is going to inevitably grow with it. But if we forget that, then sometimes we're going to stall out because we're focusing on ourselves and not the people that we're helping. What's that come back to? It comes back to heart. So at the end of the day, if you have heart, you're going to be a leader that people want to follow. And it's really that simple. So hopefully this morning that helps somebody. I hope you have a great rest of the week.